Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. This is Recie Myers coming to you live on this Monday morning. I know there's several people out there like, oh, it's Monday, but it promises to be a sunny day. We had a lot of rain over the weekend. In fact, Roland and I went out of town to visit my sister up in the Maryland, D.C. area, and had a great time, but drove in that rain anyway. So Roland is not with me this morning. He was not ready to get up. So it's just me this morning. Good morning to you, Sipo. And good morning, Deborah. Good morning to you. Do me a favor if you would share this out before I get started. So I am an early bird. I'm an early riser. I've always been. And got to get started on my day. So what I prepared for you this morning, the mind fascinates me, and the power of the mind, it fascinates me. We all have this latent power within, and we need to explore it. So I was listening to a presentation by Earl Nightingale. He's the one I'm focusing on right now. And he was talking about a gentleman named Russell Herman Cornwell, who, he was one of the first. He started the Temple University. He was an attorney, and he became a writer. He was an editor of a newspaper, and then he became a minister, a clergy. And so there were some young men, because he's so talented, they came up, approached him. They said, could you help us? We don't have the money to go to college. Can you just kind of teach us some courses and help educate us? He said, well, I'll see what I can do. So those young men walked away, and what they said to him planted that seed in his mind. And then he set to work it right away. So of course, he, started the school, a Baptist university, and the School of Law. So he's very instrumental. So he decided to start a school for these young men or young people who don't have a lot of resources. And he raised over $7 million in a short space of time. But he went to different places and did all these talks, and at every talk, I think they said he did over 6,000 lectures all over to raise money for the school that he was going to make. Good morning, Gracie. Good morning, Gracie. Good morning, Bill. Glad that you can join me this morning. Roland is not with me. He needed to sleep some more. Anyway, so he told this story called Acres of Diamonds everywhere he went. And basically the story told of an African guy who owned lots of land, a farmer actually, and he heard about these people over there in Africa discovering diamonds, not gold, but diamonds. And he got all excited, because they were getting wealth. And so he sold his farm and went trying to find diamonds for himself. And he searched up and down all over Africa looking, and was very disappointed. He ended up broke. He was frustrated, and he threw himself in the river. Killed himself. Now, meanwhile, the person he sold his farm to bought this land, and while down in the river that crosses over his property, he discovered this big, unusual looking rock. Of course, he didn't know what it was, but come to find out, that was a huge diamond. Now, the guy who sold his land, he didn't know what he had in his possession. And that property was littered with diamonds everywhere. So here he sold what he owned in pursuit of what he wanted somewhere else, looking somewhere else, when he didn't realize he had all this treasure in his own grasp. So the long and short of that story is, sometimes we look at life and we say, okay, we don't like what we have this, and I don't like what I have, and we want to look somewhere else. You ever heard that expression, the grass is greener on the other side? Well, that's what that gentleman did. That farmer, the first farmer, he didn't know what he had. If he had done a little research, explored his property, found out what was in the land, what type of rocks was there, which were not rocks, he needed to know what a diamond looks like in its raw and natural form. It's not shiny and bright and all that. So he told that story to let us know that we have right in our own surroundings access to our own acres of diamonds, So some of us may have gone to school, been educated, and we don't know, we don't take the time to discover what lies in the resources that we have, that we, So that's the long and short of it. If we do these three things, this is what Earl suggested. We can study to learn more about the company that we work for, the industry that it's in. That's one. Two, if we learn about the jobs that we have, what's the next level up in the job, or what are some benefits, what are some things if we just tweak what we have in our lives, what we can achieve, research. And then the third thing that we need to do is study people, the success in serving people, because that's where treasures lie, and being genuine about it. How to get along with people. These three areas, and he says a lot of times we've been trained with stuff. We know a lot of information, but for some reason we may have forgotten. So one thing to do is start building your library, with books on success, so that you can reference those tools. Oh, several people have come on. Good morning. Good morning, Robert. I can say good morning to you. Good morning, Philip. Do me a favor. If anything I'm saying resonates with you, do share this out. The message may not be for you, but it might be for someone that you know. Good morning, George. Good morning to you, Deborah. All right, let me go on. Good morning, Doris. Glad that you can join me this morning. It's Monday. Some people hate Monday. Marta, good morning. Glad that you can join me. And do tell me where you're tuning in from. I'd like to know how far out it reaches, rather than just a little circle of the same 25 people all the time. And do, if I say something that you like, go ahead and click the like button, click the love button. That's okay. You can do that. There's a name there that is in a different language. I can't quite read it. I'm sorry, but good morning to you. Yes, and good morning, Shakina. Good morning. So he says, by reading, I did something here. By reading books that remind us about things that we've already learned, it helps us to grow. He also talked about a farmer who took a jug or some kind of jar and kind of pushed the little pumpkin seed, the new little pumpkin that was growing on the vine, into the jug, positioned it around it, and the pumpkin continued to grow, and it took on the shape of the jug. And sometimes we do that to ourselves. We limit our growth by not taking the time to explore. We put ourselves, our job doesn't put us there. Our surroundings, the economy doesn't put us there. We put ourselves into the little jug. And so we grow to just the size and shape of that jug. So we want to remove those limitations on our lives. Don't force us into a box. We need to think of ways and means that we can increase or make a contribution to the industry or the job that you do or the company that you make. Because in essence, we are the masters of our lives. We control our life. Yes, the ultimate master. We rely on him for the energy and for the ideas and things that come to us. And so in having that attitude of being able to grow and expand and not be limited, we create rather than compete with others. We affect our own lives rather than just being affected. We become a creator a creator and a giver rather than just receiving all the time. And doing this, it helps us to build job security, and being satisfied with what we are doing while we are put on this planet to do. Helps us to explore our purpose. All right, let's see. There's a bunch of... Oh, good morning, Eartha. Good morning to you. Good morning, Lynn. I can wave to each of you. Every morning, Roland and I come and share a nugget or two. Mostly, well, I'm here every morning. Sometimes he's not able to join me. Good morning, B. Glad that you can join me as well. So the thought for today basically is, we think the grass is green on the other side, but we don't realize that we have access. There are opportunities around us every day. And I'm going to close off this thought with this. Somewhere in your present work is an opportunity that can bring you everything that you can ever hope to achieve, And we have to be patient and have the wisdom, do the research, because it's not going to just fall in your lap. You have to put forth the effort. Yes, good morning, B. Glad that you're here. So somewhere in the link, I will say that, somewhere in the description, I do have a link to a way that you can access a library with a wealth of information on marketing and growing your business and branding, anything that you want to know about marketing. And so I do have that link there for you. And if anything I've said or shared with you resonates, be sure to share it out. I would be so appreciative. And I come every morning, Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock to share a nugget or two that can not only help you in your personal life, but in your business and in anything that you're striving to achieve. So there are opportunities all around you every day. And by just preparing yourself, you have to prepare. Just like that farmer who had the property with acres and acres of diamonds, but he didn't know. We have treasures within ourselves, and we don't know. We need to take the time, be patient enough to explore it, and then prepare. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a class here or two, or learning some information that can help you, that can change your attitude, change your perspective on life. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning. Glad that you can join me. And hey, cousin Jay way from Chicago, greater Chicago area. Thank you for joining me. So that's what I have for you this morning. And I'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining me. Have an awesome, powerful, and an impactful day. Bye now.